Hey, what's up, nofio heads? Bruno here again with another monthly update with a member of the team. And today we have a character unlock, Keith. You haven't seen Keith yet? Well, today is your lucky day. He's here just to talk about our monthly challenges. We're doing that with quite a few people, quite a few members of the team. So yeah, Keith, so leading up to this month, what are the things that you've been working on, and what are the main challenges that you've seen so far with the nofio index?
Yep. So what I've been working on recently is the production testing side. So I'm looking at just making sure that every nofio which comes off that assembly line is working perfectly when we get to manufacturing. So a lot of the challenges I've been dealing with is making sure that our testing is reliable and robust.
It's a complex piece of technology, right? So you have to like test, um, verify USB, DP, the Wi-Fi module, right? Like that's pretty complex.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of parts and like everything needs to be tested in full detail. So we have to take a deep dive on every interface, and that involves like you said, wireless, DP, the memory.
Memory.
So there's a lot that goes into it, and some of those things are not super consistent. So one of the big challenges has been doing tests on the wireless network.
Oh
So
yeah.
the wireless network, sometimes you get really good speed, sometimes there's interference with other wireless networks.
Yeah.
And it's hard to,
Like in a manufacturing environment, right? Like you want to
Exactly.
do some stuff in parallel as well.
yeah, exactly right. So having, testing one device at a time will take a long time if we want to test thousands of units. Um,
What
so,
about the antennas? I thought that was a cool challenge, like verifying. So imagine now, guys, like you're putting in the Wi-Fi module, then you plug the antennas. Now, how do you verify that they're plugged, right? Like properly.
yeah, so that's actually a lot more difficult than I expected it to be because antennas are passive components, so there's no way to actually check if your antenna is plugged in. We had a pretty interesting workaround to that. Disable the antennas one by one, and then run a full network check, and then by process of elimination, we can determine if any of the antennas are damaged or
Yeah,
disconnected.
right. So you have like the visual inspection,
Yeah,
and then we run your scripts on top
That's right.
to make sure that they're plugged.
yeah, that's right. Actually, another sort of interesting approach to the way we're doing it is we're automating the testing as much as possible. So it's going to be almost like minimal labor involved
Yeah, right.
in the production testing as well. So everything should be done pretty much autonomously too. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
And checking the video as well, right? That's another challenge. The DP. It's like, how is it alive? How do you know it's alive?
Yeah, that's right. So with DP, still early stages into producing the test for that, but we have to basically verify that the image that's going into the device is coming out the same, and without having someone sitting there and looking at every individual
Yeah.
pixel on the screen, that can be quite the challenge as well. So we're looking at ways to make that robust
Yeah, right.
too. So
Actually looking at error and numbers and rates.
that's right. So looking at errors in the DP lanes individually, so we can get a pretty good idea of how the image quality will be looking at those errors alone. But again, it's one of those things which isn't super exact, and we have to try and figure out where the line is for what an acceptable error rate is in the DP lanes.
Yeah.
But it seems like we've got some pretty solid tech. The cables, the error rates are always pretty consistently low on the good.
That's cool.
On the good devices.
And you're starting the communication with the manufacturing partners too, right? To plan all that. They'll probably give you a feedback, and then we see if we have to adjust a few things, right?
That's right. So we've just contacted the manufacturers. So we're just starting that process now, that back and forth for that communication. So things will probably change quite a lot in terms of the testing over the next month or so. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. I think you win the prize of biggest challenges of the month, Keith. Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Keith will bring you more challenges.